Give me a chance. I was sitting on a chair in the kitchen center, across from the laundry room, when she came out of the garage. Approaching the laundry room door, she saw me sitting there. I removed a little table with stage props from the living room. I had to perform. Thomas? That tone was inquiring. You're doing what? Is something wrong? No problem, I said. I was hoping you could help me fit. What about fitting? What the hell are you discussing? I grabbed something from the table. I displayed it proudly. Say they must be fitted. The what? She asked. What's up, Thomas? Is this funny? Are you pranking? Though I like a good trick, I wasn't kidding. Just a hoax. It should be serious. This is not a prank, I said. A manhood cage or chastity device. Her eyes bulged like stalks. They looked like snail eyes. Little stalks were the only thing lacking. What the hell? Are you insane? What are you discussing? She asked. I informed her of my studies. Cuckold spouses need manhood cages. Indeed, that matters most. The key is chained around your neck. After the bull makes love to you, let me out for sloppy seconds if you let me. Thomas, what's wrong? She gazed at me like I had a third eye. What are you talking about? Have you gone mad? I said no, I'm perfectly sane, just to understand how things worked so I could contribute. I bought you a sweet little chain. I raised it to show her the key dangling from it. You can wear it. Let me depart when you're ready for cream cakes and sloppy seconds. Would you enjoy this? I displayed the cage. I should have asked. Their styles vary. When will you bring the bull in? I want to see him ASAP. What the hell are you discussing? Her voice almost screamed. The heck is a bull? What are you doing with that awful thing? Clearly she disliked the cages I choose. Hell, I might get a refund. Everything should be fine if she didn't touch my genitals. I wondered if she was returned. The concept chilled me. Clean it thoroughly before using. Bulls sex your wives. I said the alpha male cooks, watches, and cleans after the bull has his bride. Outrage filled her. Thomas, are you accusing me of dating? I don't like thinking that way, I said. Non-accusation implies judgment. Blaming is quite serious. Make love to Greg Johnson without accusing him. Only hope I did my part right. If you could help me place this on. It was extended to her. She took 2 steps forward, grabbed it from me, and threw it violently into the washing room. Great throw directly into the dryer. Stop, she yelled. I looked hurt. Damn, Ronnie. It was bent by you. You should have said you didn't like it. We could have swapped it. I'll need to spend a lot of time smoothing it out before we can trade it for yours. Screw it, she growled. When and how long have you known? I contemplated it. Today is March 15th, I said. First time was at 7:44 on February 11th. Now 540. Do you need minutes or an hour? That's March foreshadowing. What a fit. Julius Caesar was killed that day. She opened her mouth. She looked at me, opening and closing her mouth silently. She looked like a dry soil carp. It looked bad. Why are you silent? She gasped, asking. To say what? I asked. What about you, cheating fool Veronica? Please justify your affair. Did you want me to say that? I asked. Why not learn why? She asked. I know why, I said. I need not ask. She seemed confused. You know why how? I know why people cheat, I said. Sociopath you, she gasped, tears in her huge blue eyes. How to say it? Thought you loved me. How is that relevant? I requested. I adore you. I did before discovering your cheating sociopathy. I now realize loving you is absurd. I just need to adjust to our new roles. She repeated the carp act. Your lips aren't right, I told her. They should face downward. Your problem? She was about to scream. Why mention my lips? I explained that carp can suck from the bottom because their lips point downward. You're doing good, but your lips need work. She probably didn't know I researched carp and ignored my criticism of her spoof. What did find someone else mean? She asked. Will you divorce me? I told her, yes. But it will take some time. I thought you'd throw me a bone between making love to Johnson, as long as we lived together, and I could wear a cage. I didn't mean that. Thomas, it's over. No more seeing him. Divorce is not my goal. Very surprising, I said. When a wife sleeps with another man, she usually wants a divorce. Though she may not want it, that's how it usually goes. I didn't want you to know, she said. Thomas, the affair was brief. I'm done, and I'll be the best wife ever. I said that sounded great. Unfortunately, I must decline. Do not do this, Thomas. Now she begged. You know I love you. It happened without meaning. I say it's over. The fact that you never told me when it started makes it hard to trust. How will you convince me? She approached and crushed her fat body on mine. She was sizzling. I promise everything is over. We knew her promises were valuable. She jumped. I'm done hearing about those dirty cages, she yelled, Throw out cages, said it was over. Tom, what's wrong? I cherish you and will not do this. Discuss it no more. Very horrible. Sorry, I said. Did you defend Big Johnson, Ronnie? Her face turned red. Stop calling him that, she advised. God, Thomas, you're rude. I knew he wasn't big and had him use the defense. Are you planning to make love to me soon? Sweetie, whenever you want, she purred. Have I rejected you? Not that I remember, I said. STD testing is recommended anyhow. Neither of us should endanger our health. If you could get infected, you would have by now, she said. Have you not loved me since I began? She asked. I overlooked Jesus, Thomas. Is it why you're feeling recently sick or tired? I admitted. I never enjoyed having pus leak from me. This name made her wrinkle her nose. I'll be examined tomorrow, she said. Thomas, what now? Nothing for a while, I told her. You know divorces take time. Gently, she groaned. I denied wanting a divorce. I remember responding a few minutes ago. Your temptation distracted me, but I remember certain specifics. We shouldn't divorce, she begged, said it was over. I shall now be loyal to you. I said I remember. I'd heard it before, so I didn't believe you. My vow was to leave everyone behind. Do you recall? Her face lit up. Yes, I remember. What's wrong with me? Thomas, I didn't plan to cheat. We always worked together. I got stupid because he continued hitting on me. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean much. I expected you to be madder. I told her. I was upset for weeks. At first, I pondered killing you. I have an old gun. I practiced at the shooting range. I planned to murder the lover. Her nose wrinkled. I wanted to kill you both. Macy talked me out of it. She awed. Macy knows. You told our daughter. Why do that? Really loathe me. I replied. I didn't tell her, she said. She looked gut-punched. Carp appeared steroid-loaded. How? When did she learn? How did she know? That explains it. God, she hasn't called me. She always says she's busy when I call. He may not be listening, I said. Isn't one of his core beliefs that you can only love your husband? She sat there, crying, unaffected by my kind words. She woke from her slumber. What should I do, Thomas? She questioned mournfully. I told Ronnie I had no idea. A book you could read? Possibly a website to explain to your daughter why you cheat. Her gaze was gloomy. She said, You don't have to hit me if it helps, you should. Do you love hurting me, Thomas? Well, I think I do a little, I said. Before, I wasn't violent. You shaped me. Her apology was murmured. Help me now? No idea, I said. You expected what to happen when I found out? She said. I didn't think you would. I simply did it. Now you know what? Your ideas? I asked. She paused. She asked your open marriage views. They may be divorcing, I said. Are you sure? She asked. Magazines and TV have covered them. I'm sure, I replied. I read about many topics. I waited in line at the grocery store last week. You'll never guess what I saw. She considered becoming Sasquatch's love slave. Her mouth moved. Maybe it was a puffer fish, not a carp. I said no self-respecting person would think that. Consider how humiliating that would be. These women are cheats, not wives. Open means to cheat. Then consider my reaction. Feelings on it? She asked. I said, as if you were going to cut off my balls almost like now. I didn't mean that. What can I do, Thomas? Yelled. Stop saying that. Said it was over. Will not see anyone else. Yes, I remember, I said. Do you think I have Alzheimer's, Veronica? She stared at me. I remember you saying you didn't believe me, she said. Would you rather have your divorce papers served here or at work? I don't want a divorce, she shivered. I'm not divorcing Thomas. I assured her it wasn't up to her. You'll wait 60 days until I file. The judge will grant divorce if you don't object. She said she'd fight it. Why? I asked. Your refusal to marry me is evident. Why argue about that? I want to marry you, she said. How about a lover? I asked. This seems destructive to my marriage. Only till my divorce is final will I wear a cage. I grabbed the cage at the laundromat. Probably won't wear it, I said. It looks crooked and would hurt me. The wire bend was shown to her by holding it out. She took it from me and chucked it. Washing room again. She constructed a wonderful washing basket without the dryer this time. She shouted, Leave that dirty thing alone. You're disgusting. No horny spouses must do that. I said I did a thorough study. Maybe you're not a cuckold husband. But she looked frightened. Not technically, I said. I'm probably a happy, obedient cuckold. Except for Macy's, I don't keep bull babies. Her mouth was open as she looked at me. She said. Don't even think about it, I thought. She's yours. Should I get a DNA test? She looked at me like a Martian. I'd taken a DNA test and knew Macy was mine. Just jerking her chain. Nothing justifies that, she said. Your child, Macy. Thomas, I never cheated on you. Do you mean pre-Big Johnson? I clarified. Yes, stop calling him that. I told you he was small. Thomas, he is nothing. You're huge enough for any woman. You interested? I wondered. She blushed. She shocked me with brilliance. Girls talk about these things, she said. How big is Sam's? I requested. Always with a big bag, he boasted. Of course he always did it without Sandy. She said she didn't know. Bragging men always lack decency. I suspected it all along. Thank you, Ronnie. Each day brings new knowledge. Can we stop discussing divorce, cages, and wit? That, whatever. I suppose. But divorce will come up, I said. First off, you haven't told where you want service. I expect a hearing. We won't divorce. Her voice was harsh. I heard the shower running as she left upstairs with those statements. I removed the cage from the dirty garments. Though well made, the wire seemed brittle. I placed it in the box and gently placed it on the mantel next to our wedding photo after bending it as much as possible. It looked good. The box's beautiful red priority mail labels. Going to Angus Grill. I ordered a great steak. My phone rang throughout dinner, I replied. It was Ronnie. Your whereabouts? She asked. I told her. 8. Excellent tenderloin. They're usually tough. But this one is tender, and I've always liked sirloin. Inside the tube, I heard panting. Why not ask whether I wanted to go? Call Big Johnson to tell him it's over. I wasn't bothering you in case you wanted to organize a date thereafter. Don't you like the word? Love dates have unique meaning. That phone call sounded like a fowl cackling. I might hire her to call turkeys when turkey hunting. I was going to tell him tomorrow, she said. When are you home? I mentioned Bud's darts event tonight. I stopped by, tried it, had a few beers, and bought. I get home around 9. Unless Alicia is there. If she's there, I might as well hang out and see what she's up to, he said. Why do that? My affections for her have always been there, I said. I never considered it again while married to you. You're married to me, she raged. If you're not home by 9, I'll claw that fool's eyes out. I didn't probe her. Alicia never interested her. She was banging pots and pans when I got home. Got up, showered, and went to bed. I rise at 5:30 for work. Later, she stripped and slid into bed naked. She kept slipping, but I stopped her. I hate to break the moment, but you should have taken the test. She exhaled. Thomas, you just talk garbage. No STDs. Greg married. He wouldn't risk bad surprises for his wife. As I said, I always protected him. Is it like the renounce everything else oath? Just asking. She paused. How am I supposed to show you I'm serious if you won't make love? She asked. So I strolled all day smiling. Men mocked me about it. When? She was fussing in the kitchen when I got home. Making pork chops, she said. Stuff to your specifications. It sounds wonderful. Walked upstairs to change. Back downstairs, I watched ESPN basketball. She brought me a beer and chips when she heard the TV. What a life. After a great dinner, she told me she got tested. The results would arrive in 3 days. Since it was Friday, it should be ready by Friday night. That idea excited her, so I didn't want to ruin her joy. If you make love to Big Johnson again, Ronnie, you must retake the test, I warned. I won't sleep with him or anyone else, she yelled. Thomas, how often must I tell you? From now on, I'll be reliable like an atomic clock. I watched her. Apologies, she said. Thomas, I only belong to you forever. It looked familiar. But I nodded. Friday arrived as usual, and she delivered the test results to me. See, I told you, she remarked. We were wasting time. When the doorbell rang, she led me up the stairs by the hand. She opened the door to find a huge man. He had a shaven head and was under 2 meters tall. A snake-shaped tattoo on his costly suit collar was disappearing. You Veronica Brown? He inquired. This is about what? He gave her a huge envelope. Sorry, Ma, I am. You were served. Turning, he left. I was confused. All process servers were young girls chewing gum, I thought. It was very out of character. A terrible sign. We hope everything will settle down soon. Veronica faced me. What's this, Thomas? Nearly sure these are your divorce papers. She sighed and fell to the entryway floor when I said this. This was humiliating. She repelled my hand as I tried to help her. Why? She cried. I said no to divorce. Very sorry, Thomas. Do not divorce me. She was taken to the sofa in my arms. I predicted this. Did you believe I joking? She cried. I thought you'd change your mind. You. Please try me. Thomas, give me a chance. Please witness my amazing wifehood. Want to show me now? Asked her. Her tearful eyes glanced at me. You mean what? I extended my hand. She accepted, and I led her upstairs. So she showed me 3 times that night and twice Saturday. Sunday I only had enough for 2, but she was ready. I must give it her. She called Big John and let me listen as she told him to leave and never return. She was called a lot of bad names by him. I agreed with him because he used similar language. I or Macy used while talking to me. I didn't know my sweet girl had such a mouthful. Judge scheduled therapy first after the divorce. 6 sessions were required or the counselor will cut them. I hated Irani's counselor pick from the court. A huge male toad, he was clearly unmarried for 40 years. He tested many advanced ideas on US guinea pigs. I ran through the maze like a white rat, counting sessions until completion. He and Ronnie had improved, but the primary seemed insufficient. I took all necessary measures, noises, and played all his games until the last session. He wondered if he should call the judge to cancel the divorce. I promised to handle everything. He stooped over from his comfortable chair to shake my hand. I grabbed and squeezed it. I covered him with my arm as his knees buckled. Hissing, "Listen, fat bastard, stuff your advice and rhetoric in your ass." I left him and Ronnie standing. She followed me to the car. "Thomas, why did you?" she asked. "I thought we were doing great." I had thought so, too. "Before you were Big John's needlewoman, I stated this." Her amazement lasted a moment. "Do you intend to divorce me?" I said so from the start. "Consider getting your hearing checked, Ronnie. Are you moving out or making me?" she asked. Saying no, "I like my house, I think you can leave. I think we'll have to sell the house and split the proceeds or have one of us buy out the other if one leaves." She asked if we'll divorce but live together. "Ronnie, you make fantastic love. I won't kick you out if you stay." "Yes, if you." "Everything is off when men sleep together." "Will you sleep with other women?" she asked. "As long as you persist." "I doubt I'll have the energy," I said. After some hesitation, she smiled at me. She promised another wedding in a year. I hope she didn't risk it. Law nods arose. The end.